to your greatest success lies in a door that has not been opened, the door of change. This is Anurag. My academic qualifications: I'm a chartered accountant, a graduate from IIM Ahmedabad. After serving the corporate world for 14 years, I decided to start on my own. Now, what really prompted this transition? People turn entrepreneurial when they either do not have a job or they think they are too good for just a job. In my case, I fell in the latter category. For most of my job life, I had worked in fairly large, professionally managed companies that offer you decent salaries, good work, nice people to work with, chauffeur-driven cars, hotels, flights, medical insurance, club membership. What else could someone from a middle-class background aspire for? Except the fact that I always wanted to be a job giver and not just a job seeker. And I wanted to insulate myself from the whims and fancies of an individual boss from determining my fortunes, where I would not have to wait for a psychophancy and a politics-driven appraisal cycle to determine how much I would be happy. But change, no matter how glamorous it sounds, is always very difficult. But I went by the regret minimization framework, and I said to myself that if I don't change now, it will be all the more difficult 5 years forward. This was, by the way, not the first time that I had opted for change. In the year 2003, I had shifted from science to commerce after class 12. 2008, 2 months into my first job, I had quit it to come back to my hometown to stay with my family at half the salary. And 2014, after marriage and a kid, when you purchase a house, you purchase a car, I spent all of that to pursue my MBA. But this one change was going to be of epic proportions. I would not get a salary. There was so much uncertainty. They asked me, once I put in my papers, "Where are you joining next, Anurag?" I said, "Nowhere." I know such are the rules of the corporate world. They tell you, "Oh, you are keeping your cards close to your chest. No one divulges the new employer during a notice period." By the way, it is not very probable that you are not opting for a new job given the kind of credentials that you have. And in case you're not getting a job, we'll help you. I said, "Sorry, thank you." Okay, so what are you going to do? I said, "I'll do things which I know best: financial modeling, CFO services." "Oh, there is so much competition there. They want." I said, "I just want a spoon of the dish, not the entire plate." And isn't there competition on the work front also? Where every appraisal season, someone gets better hikes and appraisals, not because they are better than you at work, but because they are better at that sycophancy, at that corporate politics. So please, I'll figure out a way. That was the prelude to the transition from job to full-time entrepreneurship. Did I have a well chalked out plan? A strategy guy? No, I didn't. It was very random. I had anticipated that there would be challenges, but so difficult? No, not at all. And I'm going to split my challenges into 3 parts. Part A, overcoming the sales challenge. Now, entrepreneurship was very difficult, very different as compared to job life, where on a Monday morning, boss would overload you with work. Here, on a Monday morning, you stared at the specter of sitting ducks the entire day because you didn't have any work. It was like you have a factory, there are machines, but they're all idle because there are no orders. And as a society, we are very hypocritical. We all celebrate entrepreneurship on social media, but when it comes to helping entrepreneurs get jobs in our ecosystem, we back off. All it takes for someone to tell is, here's this guy, I know him, let's try his services. But I don't know why people are so reluctant. Unexpectedly, your first degree connects ditch you the most. The very people who had told me, Anurag, start a firm, I'll be the first one to give you work. When I approached them, they either told the receptionist that they are busy, or if they met me, they said, Anurag, you need to come back the next year because we are not very sure that you'll go back to job. And I was aghast. How will I survive for 1 year if all of you want to wait for a year? Unexpectedly, some also wanted to exploit a beginner. Do it for half the price, do it for free, I'm giving you the opportunity to work for me, that's a big opportunity. My mom would ask me every day, did you get something? And I was absolutely frustrated. No, mom. Everyone has got someone or the other working for them and they just don't want to change. Hunting for work really tested my nerves. Often I thought that I'll go back to my job. But then when I visualized that again on a Monday morning, I'll have to go back to that boss with a grumpy face, I thought I'll better stay back. So how did I solve then this sales problem? Instead of acceptances, I decided to try gaining rejections. So I tripled my failure rate. So I said to myself, here is the list of contacts in my phone book, on my social media handles. I'm going to call all of them one by one. And the moment they say, sorry, we are not interested, we have someone working for us, I'll strike off their name and write, he is not destined to experience my magic. That's it. And if that entire list gets exhausted, I'll go back to a job. Now this really changed the mindset from gathering acceptances to gathering rejections. I was obsessed with collecting those rejections 7 days a week. Surprisingly, some people did not reject me. They gave me work. And when they started giving me work, it spread like a virus. And slowly, I wasn't a minnow anymore. The collective client symbols in my brochure were so beautiful, so elegant. They just looked like a wow. And then, I also adapted myself along the way. I started understanding the power dynamics of organizations. Who is the one who actually takes the decisions? I understood the mechanics of human behavior. And most importantly, I stopped coming across as a wannabe. Even if I had no work, I stopped being a wannabe. The world does not give work to a wannabe. Slowly, the sales problem was overcome. Not that I'm fully sorted today, but at least I have mastered the art of hunting for work. That's part A, overcoming the sales challenge. Part B was all the more difficult, building a team. When I was in a job, in a Tata, in an Aditya Birla, in an ITC, attracting talent was so easy. You had that powerful employer brand, you could tell the HR, get us guys, and they would all be lined up for interviews. Here, I was running a firm whose future even I was hesitant about. Imagine you having to cajole a 21-year-old youngster to work for you. He or she actually interviews you and at the end of it tells you, sorry sir, I don't want to work for you. I want to work for a larger, more established brand. These are real stories. But one thing this journey has taught me is that you'll get enough people of your tribe. You just need to keep searching. More unexpected were these sudden resignations. You groomed someone, entrusted them with all your work, and then suddenly they found someone who offered them a higher salary, a better brand, or they said, I'm quitting for personal reasons. The first time this happened, I was literally shaking in my boots. How can she do this? I had been so accommodative all this while. Was there anything that I could do to stop this? But then I realized that it's a cycle. I need to again post a vacancy, get the applications, groom them, get the work done, repeat. That's it. Part C was learning new skills. Now that also is a challenge. A very good friend of mine gave me an assignment, ESOP valuation. For the uninitiated, ESOP means Employee Stock Option Plan, which these startups give. But the problem was that I had never done ESOP valuation before. And the folks in the ecosystem whom I approached for some templates, some guidance, they refused. Maybe out of insecurity. But then I got someone magnanimous enough to help me with how I'm going to do this. So I completed the work, but then it got stuck while getting it signed off from the client's big four auditors. You know, this world can be very nasty when it comes to realize that you are a beginner. It throws googly after googly. They asked me, do you know this OPM backstall method? Almost sure that I didn't know. And I honestly felt like saying, boss, I do not know OPM backstall method. But this would mean a loss of face for my friend who had batted for me in this ecosystem. So I said, yes, I can do it. I approached folks back, my seniors. They said, this is so complex. Individual practitioners don't do this. But then I went to YouTube, learned the technique, did the work, and finally, after multiple iterations, Big Four signed off on that report. Finally, my ESOP valuation career took off. Getting work was tough. Getting it executed was even tougher. But I think over a period of time, I was able to manage both. But such is the nature of change. It's been 2 years, a roller coaster of a ride, exhausting, but actually very rewarding. I laugh at myself when I think that I was so chained by that medical insurance which my employer was giving me. Those flights, those hotel tickets, etc. Now, given a choice, I can afford all of that on my own. And the joy of writing those paychecks. Remember, I wanted to be a job giver and not just a job seeker. So at the end of a month, when we are able to process the salaries, write those checks. Now, effectively that's NEFT, it's a liberating experience. Maybe the mantra here is, as far as entrepreneurship is concerned, is to remain not out on the crease. You will surely get intermittent opportunities to score runs. Do not throw away your wicket. Some people ask me, how big is your business? I say it's small, but it's mine. That's the kind of pride I have. And friends, therefore, I will tell you that last line which I have learned from this journey. Embrace the change. It can be so liberating. Thank you.